Hey Josh, I was just going over a couple of videos that we took the other day of your swing, and I wanted to show you what happened the other day and give you some things to think about as you move forward. Hope this helps. One of the things that we talked about was your address position and how we thought it would be beneficial to you if you get your hands up a little bit in your address position. So as you can see here, from your first swing on the left to your second swing on the right, your hands got up a little bit and a little bit further away from your body, which made a couple of good things happen that I wanted to show you. One of the things that I thought was good, and I'm just going to draw some original shaft plane angles here throughout the swings here. But one of the things that I liked about this was in your first swing here, as you can see in your takeaway, your hands kind of go to the outside of that circle there, to the right of that circle. And then from there they circle around your body, and when you get to the top, you're about that position right there. Now on your second swing here, with your hands a little bit more outside your body, you didn't have to do that. Your hands were you had a little bit more space, so your hands can move a little bit more up at the start and not from the outside away from your body, because they're already outside your body. So you can see that it made a little bit of a difference there. And then as you get to the top, we'll stop you there too. Now the other thing I noticed about this is from the original, when your hands were a little bit closer to your body, you had to move them around, and what that made your arms do through your swing here, through your takeaway, through your backswing, is it caused them to be a little flat. And when you got your arms around got outside your body a little bit, you let your hands a little higher at address, your arm position, as you can see at the top, is a little bit more vertical. Not much, but a little bit. And that's certainly a step in the right direction. Now, as you come through, another thing that I saw that was an improvement with just that posture change was as you came through, your hands at impact were a little bit farther away from you than we'd like to see. And in the second swing, after we made the change, your hands at impact were a little bit closer to where they were originally at address. There's a little bit less space there between the difference of where your hands were at address and where they were at impact between swing one and swing two. So those are some good changes that we made there. I thought that really helped you, that little posture change there. Now, I wanted to compare your swing and show you a couple of things. I wanted to put a swing of Mr. Woods here and show you a couple of things about his swing that I think you can incorporate into your own that I think would really be beneficial to you. So let me just draw these shaft lines again here real quick, and then I'll start talking. One thing is, you can see one thing that I noticed right away, the difference that I see, a big one, is his posture is a little bit more upright and a little bit more forward leaning. If I was going to push him one way or another, it looks like I could push him forward. Looks like he'd fall forward easier than he'd fall backwards if I was to give him a push in either direction. With your swing, it looks like maybe I could push you back behind you a little bit more than I could push you forward. So I think what a good thing for you to do would be is to stand up a little bit more with your knees, get your hips a little bit closer to your feet, the back of your feet, as Tiger's is. You can see that he doesn't have a lot of space between his feet and his tail, where you have a little bit more space there. So I think that would be a good thing for you to think about in your posture. And the other thing it does is it enables his arms, as he stands a little bit more upright over the ball with his eyes kind of in the middle of his swing there. What it does is it helps his arms hang freely from his body, which helps his turn, which helps his hands move up a little bit more in the turn, which is also what I want to talk about here. So as we draw our little circles around the hand at address thing that we did before, you can see that Tiger's club, I'm just going to play it, Tiger's club travels a little bit more straight up that line at the takeaway, whereas yours comes a little bit more to the inside that line. Okay, so as that's happening, what Tiger is doing really is he's pulling his hands straight up. So if we were to draw a line just to kind of trace his hand line to the top of his backswing, his hands are moving up about right there. If we take a look at yours, and we do the same thing, your hands travel a little bit more horizontally than his do. And what that does is it gets your hands really far behind your body at the top of your backswing. You can see there your hands are quite a bit more outside your feet than his are. Actually, his hands are more inside of his feet than anything. So he's a lot more vertical. The other thing his takeaway does is it helps promote this position up here at the top, where his arm is running really similar to his original shaft angle, and his shoulders are running very similar to that shaft angle too. Now you got a lot of good things going in your takeaway and in your backswing. Your hips are turned a lot like his. That looks great. And your shoulder angle is really quite good. It's right there. If I stretched it all the way out, you'd see that it lies at an angle that's really similar to your shaft plane angle, which is great. But your arms moving so inside your body cause your hands moving so inside your body cause your arms to be really flat here. Whereas his vertical motion and having his hands a little bit higher cause his arm and his shoulder plane to be in a very similar plane, which is where you want to be. So if you were to move your hands a little bit more up to this area up here, your arm angle would immediately change, and all your angles would be in a very similar and parallel place, and you'd be in a much more positive position to hit a good shot and get the club back to where it wants to go. Because as you can see through Tiger's downswing here, all he has to do is move back down that same place that he came, and his shaft line is lining up pretty similarly at impact to where it was at address. Whereas yours has to travel a different distance and it's coming from a different place, and your shaft angle is at a much different place here at impact. So I think moving your hands up in your takeaway and in your backswing would really put you in a much more positive position to hit the ball. I think that would really help you. Because again, you got a lot of good things going in your swing. You're very athletic. You got a lot of flexibility there. Your hips turn, your shoulders turn very well. But your hands coming a little flat is causing you to have to make some compensations that are really difficult to make in that little tenth of a second that downswing takes. So that's just something I think maybe you could think about as you're moving forward with your swing. And hopefully, I think you said you're going to be making some changes to your swing and working on it. Hopefully I can see you out in the range sometime. I'd like to see the improvements that you're making. I'm anxious to see it. All right, man. That's all I got for you.